This little box on the left side is my new mini PC, the GEEKOM IT13 Max. In today's video, we're going to review it from a creator point of view. We're going to take a look at all the ports and connectivity, upgrade options, and of course, I'm going to throw a lot of workload onto my new mini minion, and we'll see how it handles photo or even video editing. Hi friends, Dirk here. Thanks so much for tuning in. Full disclosure, GEEKOM sent me this mini PC for review. However, everything you hear and see in this video are my own thoughts. GEEKOM has no saying in the outcome of this video. The unboxing experience is fantastic. Everything is really nicely packed. We get an HDMI cable. There's a little thank you note. And also the manual. Here's the power cord, and of course the power adapter is also included. And here are screws and a mounting plate that fits the VESA mount of a monitor. So in theory, you could mount your mini PC on the back of a monitor, but in reality, the VESA mount is where the monitor is supported and where most monitors are attached, so I don't think that's a viable option. And now let's take a look at the star of the show, our mini PC. It feels well built. It's of course made of metal mesh on the side for good airflow. And the first welcome addition for a creator is the SD card slot. And we'll test the performance of that in a little bit. Now I have to truly pause the video because the back of this mini PC is feature packed. We have the power input, one USB 4 40GB port supporting power and display, dual HDMI 2.0 ports. We get dual 2.5 gigabit LAN, a USB-A 10 gigabit port and a USB 2 port, and another USB 4 40 gigabit port supporting display. So we can connect up to 4 4K monitors. The large thing on top is the exhaust for the fan. And what we don't see is we get Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 5.4. On this side we have metal mesh again for good ventilation and a Kensington lock. There are 4 USB-A 10 gigabit ports on the front. The one on the left is always on for charging. And there's also a 3.5mm audio jack. And of course the power button. To get inside of the mini PC we only need to loosen 4 screws, pull, and we're here. If you want to add another drive, we have a free M.2 2242 slot. On the bottom is a pre-installed metal plate that presses against the thermal pad of our pre-installed 500GB NVMe drive for additional cooling. And it's large enough to cover also the second M.2 slot. My initial setup was very simple. I used the USB 4 port to connect a portable monitor. I used a Ducky One mechanical keyboard and a Logitech Pro wireless mouse. In such tests, connecting the PC to power helps a lot. Powering it on for the very first time, it didn't take long and everything was up and running. It comes pre-installed with Windows 11 Pro. I'll spare you the long Windows initiation processes, and we're getting right into our tests. I'm happy to report that everything worked straight out of the box without the need of installing additional drivers. I installed Max on Cinebench 2026 and it scored 3,296 points. That is still better than the Apple M1 Max 24 GPU and the AMD Ryzen Z1 Extreme. This is a very exhausting 10-minute stress test, and I was pleasantly surprised to see that the thermal throttling reached at one point only 3% and then went down to 1%, which is definitely less than my current gaming laptop. And it also stayed pretty cool, with temperatures not exceeding 92 degrees Celsius at the core package and the core. The fan noise was noticeable, but it was definitely quieter than a gaming laptop. And here's the creator part. I know from my own experiences that in some PCs the built-in SD card readers are not great. I wanted to test this one here for the true read speed. So I put all the app files that I wanted to use in this mini PC on an SD card, put it in, and dragged them over onto my hard drive. We reached a bit over 90 megabytes per second. I wanted to know if the transfer times could be improved, so I connected my Pro-grade SD card reader via USB-C. I repeated the same test, selected the same files and dragged them over onto my hard drive. I was very surprised to see that it performed so much slower compared to the built-in SD card reader. I'm not sure why this is, because on my PC it actually performs much better. But it shows us that the built-in SD card reader is usable, and that's great for us creators. Now that we know we can transfer our files, let's see how it handles the workload of photo and video editing. I imported a couple of my RAW files, and now I wanted to see how responsive the entire system is with its Intel Arc 128 MB. Zooming in onto details in the pictures was a breeze. It was super easy and snappy, and everything looks great. Let's not forget that simultaneously I was running OBS screen recording that also draws from the graphic processor. Next, I wanted to do some light editing, changing the color temperature, reducing the highlights, bringing up a little bit more details in the shadows. All the changes that I've made were instantly displayed without any delay. Next, I selected all 21 RAW files and exported them simultaneously. It took the system only 18 seconds to process everything and to convert the RAW files into 21 JPEGs. So far so good, but how does the system handle 4K video editing? To test that, I installed DaVinci Resolve, not the Studio Edition, the free version that everyone can download and use for free, and I'll leave a link in the description below. Importing and playing 4K footage was not a problem at all. It was super smooth. I didn't use OBS screen recording because I didn't want to put additional stress onto the integrated graphics. Now I tried some light editing with some simple cuts and also some transitions, and still everything was running very smoothly. My final test was to export a 1-minute 4K video clip. And it took the system only 38 seconds, and voila, there I had it. So to conclude this video, I want to answer the question if I think this is a capable mini PC for creators. And the answer is yes. It is comparable with a mid-size gaming laptop, mid-tier gaming laptop. I knew the Ultra 9 185H is a capable processor, but this entire package works. We have the 24 GB RAM. And of course, there are also better versions available. You could buy the Ultra 9 285H if you want to spend a bit more money. In general, this package is really good because it has very good cooling. It is not as loud and noisy as a laptop. It is small, it is portable, and even the built-in SD card reader was very impressive. It has tons of ports. Again, much better than most laptops offer. In terms of price, I would recommend for everyone to check out GEEKOM's website for coupons or to wait until there are deals on Amazon. Overall, very capable, very good value for the money, especially when you get it at a discounted price. Photo and video editing went even better than I expected, so I can give it a thumbs up. This is a very capable mini PC, and I like that it works straight out of the box without any hiccups. I know for a fact that this works well with Linux, and maybe down the road I'll show you a little video how I convert this into a server hosting my website. And this concludes the video for now. Thanks so much for watching. Till the next time, stay safe, stay tuned, and take care. Bye for now.